Now, personally, I've never been one to overly stress crossing streams, right? But, well, now I've got a big ol' fancy thing strapped to my chest, so if I fall, it's like game over. It's a little sketch, because that rock right there does not give me the most hope, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Dalton from ELO, and today we're gonna be hiking the Upper Whiteoak Falls Trail and the beautiful Shenandoah National Park. Without further ado, let's explore what life has to offer. All right, now truthfully, I'm out a little bit later than I wanted to be. My plan was to start hiking around noonish, and I actually ended up leaving my house around noon. So it's 13:45, just a little bit crowded, but it's not bad. It's actually a really lovely day. I think we were originally expecting some rain, but we ended up not getting it, hopefully, because, well, I have my rain jacket and a shell for my bag. I forgot to grab something to cover my camera, and don't necessarily want to test the waterproofing abilities, going the wrong way here, waterproofing abilities of my R8, but I am shooting with the Canon R8 with a 70-200 f4 lens today. So, yeah, let's see what this trail has to offer. Just look at these beautiful little wildflowers. I don't know what they are, but it is currently May, and I think it's been a couple weeks since I've been out into the Shenandoahs, and last time it was like second week of April, so not everything had a chance to grow back from the winter season, but I do believe things are starting to look pretty much in full bloom. Last week, I actually went to hike this trail, but I hadn't known that there were two White Oak Falls trails, and the one I ended up at was the lower one, which was actually a really nice hike. Had a 60-foot waterfall, pretty moderate too. It's about a mile and a half in, about 400 elevation gain. So really lovely hike for that one. But this one, I think, is an 80-foot waterfall. So I'm excited to see it. All right, so I'm stopping right here to take a picture of these flowers because they are gorgeous, but look at this lovely pine tree. I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's pine tree. But just look at these flowers. Absolutely love them. So we're gonna try to do just a little shot of them. I don't know if you can see that. Let you guys see what I see. But just look how pretty. And these are all over the place on this trail. So I don't know if I just chose like the best time for it, but it's lovely. Now, truth be told, maybe the 70 to 200 is a little too much for this trail. But one, it's the only lens I have because these bad boys, they're not cheap. And two, I do kind of like shooting with that 70mm for a lot of stuff. My dream right now is to get my hands on a 24-105 f4. I feel like that would be lovely, nice compact lens that gives me that ultra wide capabilities. But for anything that's like really wide, I do have my phone. Okay, I know, right? Photographer talking about using his phone instead of his camera. But the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I mean, the camera's pretty good. And, you know, it can shoot in RAW to give me that dynamic range of editing. And oh, wow. Very lovely to see. But it gives me that dynamic range for editing, and it's gonna work just perfect in a pinch. The sound of birds. I'm horrible at bird spotting. And you'd think with the 70 to 200 you'd have the range to get them, but oftentimes you really don't. And that's if I can find them. I tell you what, I can almost never find a bird when I hear it. Maybe you can get better at it, but practice makes perfect. Oh my, we got horses. Holy. I don't know if y'all can see that over there. It's pretty far. Yeah, look at these guys go. Try to zoom in a little bit. Can't zoom in that far. There's actually a state park somewhere in Virginia that has, or is known for, its wild ponies, and I really want to go. Maybe that might be an activity sometime this summer, but oh wow, that was cool. Well, would you look at this? I've got myself an obstacle. That's always fun. Look at this little tree. Try limboing under it. I'm not gonna try limboing. One, I don't think I have the spinal flexibility to do that. And two, I hit legs before coming on this hike, which we'll see if that was a mistake. But I'm not gonna risk falling on my ass for a little bit of entertainment, but that was cool. So this is exactly what I mean when I say sometimes the 70 to 200 just has a little too much zoom for it. So I like this little rock formation here, but my lens is too chunky. So we're gonna try the phone. All right, we found some running water. This is exciting. I could check my map to see how close I am to the waterfall, or I can leave myself up to guessing. But I'm right next to some water, so I'd say I'm getting closer. All right, look what I've just found. I've stumbled across this little bridge. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Look at that. That's a cool thing to see in the middle of nowhere, but right over this, I mean, take a look at that. Wow. I'm gonna have to look into what estuary, not estuary, but what stream or river that this trail crosses through, because, well, I am very interested and my curiosity is piqued. All right, let's look at how cool this rock pile is. The roots of this tree are just completely intertwined within this pile of rocks, and I think that's just the coolest freaking thing. It's down over here too, all the way through it, and all the moss on it. It's a really cool looking tree. I think one of the coolest parts about, or one of the best parts about hiking so close to the water is it naturally cools you off. So the area around the water is going to be a lot cooler than if you were, I don't know, a couple hundred feet away. So the downside, of course, mosquitoes. All right, skeeters are gonna be everywhere, but bug spray is a thing, and they got plenty of products. If you don't like bug spray, you can put on yourself so you don't have to deal with the mosquitoes. But the cooler temperature is nice, although it's not too hot out. It's still nice to have that, you know, temperate weather. Do you guys see that little isolated plant? I don't know if you do, but take a picture of it. Hello, little plant. All right, so bugs typically scare me quite a bit. I'm not a big bug friendly person, but I found this millipede, and I do think millipedes are kind of cool. Look at this little guy. Centipedes, on the other hand, I think the fuck not. All right, well, I know if I get lost and I need to like get out of here in a hurry, I'll be all set. If you know, you know. I have found yet another millipede. Look at all them little legs. That's pretty cool. Now, personally, I've never been one to overly stress crossing streams, right? But, well, now I've got a big old fancy thing strapped to my chest, so if I fall, it's like game over. But I only have to cross that much, and I'm hoping I don't fall and either bust my ass or bust my camera. It's a little sketch, because that rock right there does not give me the most hope, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. So objective, don't fall. Objective is don't fall, all right? I'm sure this is fine, right? This is fine. Balance. Oh, it's a sturdy rock. Okay, I was a little dramatic. It was a little dramatic. Now, I haven't quite made it to the waterfall yet, but oh my. I have found myself an overlook, and it is so pretty. Do I get close to the ledge? Mom, if you're watching, don't look, please. You'd kill me. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'll be very careful not to fall off and die, but I mean, the view's worth it, that's for sure. Wow. Just look at that. and the sun's coming out and everything. I'm gonna take a few pictures of that waterfall. Well, that's not even the main thing. I think I still got more coming. Set this guy right up there. There we go. Yeah, you be a good action cam and you stay. Okay, so it turns out that that view was the climax, if you will, of this trail. Now I've reached the halfway point for the Upper Whiteoak Trail, but that's all I really intended on doing today. I'm about almost 2 3/4 mile down, and it's an out and back, so I got another about 3 miles back the direction I came. And while, you know, a longer hike might be nice, we got to keep in mind that it was a leg day and I only have the food for the 6-mile hike. So I'm gonna make my way back to that viewpoint, take a few pictures, and head on out. Now, on the way to the waterfall, it was mostly downhill, which means the way back to my car is gonna be almost entirely uphill. Fortunately though, it's not the steepest in the world, but I'm out of shape. You know what? I don't usually say this, but I'm starting to think maybe, and just maybe, hitting legs before this hike was a ill-informed idea. Yo, I'm in Fern City. Look at all this. Oh. I think ferns are one of the oldest plants that have just been around forever. And they're all over the place too. I went on a hike when I was in the Philippines and they had these monstrous ferns. I mean, I'm talking like 4 feet tall, maybe 5 feet. I don't know, some of them were coming up to my hip, others coming up to my chest, and man, I'm not the tallest person in the world, but I think that's a pretty big fern. All right. If my memory once again serves me right, I'm on the, I'm back on flat road basically. It's not a bad hike, and I did get myself a little winded because I kind of got in between this family and, you know, I wanted to get some space. So I had to speed up a little bit. Oh yeah, look, we're back at the tree bridge. I'm not gonna try limbo again, but we made it back to, oh, let me get on under here. Yeah, all right. So as I was saying, it's actually a pretty moderate trail. Definitely a bit of a challenge on the way up to get back to this point. And I do think another thing that just adds some difficulty to the trail is it's, once you get to the water and you start following down to the waterfall, it is entirely rock. And I mean, like, yeah, it's a hike and this is rock too. But I mean, it's very stony. So it's a lot of friction that kind of builds up in the toes. So don't cheap out on socks. Get something, merino wool, reduce friction. And then the second you guys feel any sort of like blister formation, patch that So I should be good though. I hope. You know what's really funny? I took that break maybe 5-10 minutes out from the parking lot because I hear the cars, and I'm honestly thinking I'm about to hit it. So I think I'm gonna check out one of the outlooks and probably call it there. All right, so as I said, I'm stopping at one of the outlooks, and this is actually one of the only places I get good signal in the mountains. But look, just absolutely, look at how the light is shining through the clouds. You see that? I'm hoping I can bring that out through some editing, because it is just, I mean, majestic to look at. All right, so that's gonna do it for this hike. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Catch you in the next one.